Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cannon Fodder. Welcome to the Game Lot. We are playing some more Rise of Industry. And, yeah, we've just produced our first unit of fabrics. We've actually produced 2 by this point. And I believe it has been sold. Yes, 35,000 right there. So we will be needing to sell and produce a lot more of those if we need to be making a profit, or more of a profit than we are currently. Otherwise, we'll continue to lose money, and eventually our company, as it will go bankrupt. We should probably take another look at the building interfaces. Each building will start you off with an overview. This building will show you what resources you need, as well as what resource we output. It'll show you the month prior, current month, or month prior's production, the total production for the building as soon as it's been built, as well as its average and its upkeep. The upkeep for your building does not include the trucks that are used to transport your resources around. This is just for the building. Your total building upkeep, obviously, you'll be finding in the bottom left there. So it's currently costing us 58,000 to run all of our buildings, and about 4,500 for all of our vehicles. So we are barely breaking even right now. Barely. But that will increase over time as you build more buildings and increase the amount of industry that you have, which we can do fairly simply because all of the buildings that we have for our major industry, which is producing fabrics, we have all of, and we know that it sells. Just for a quick refresher, our fabrics, they sell for $28,000. Our dyes sell for about half that, so we can sell our dyes off as well if we need to, if we've got excess, which right now we don't. We do, however, have excess cotton, it seems, so we can sell that off. The other thing we can do is actually put down a lumber yard as well and start selling off some wood. But right now, I think we're fine. We don't need to worry about selling off any wood or producing any wood because that would just mean more buildings that we don't particularly need right now. And so I guess, I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it could potentially be viewed as a wasteful investment. So yeah. Other things that happen is you do get alerts every now and then when your building storage fills up. As you can see here, there's not a whole lot you can do about that, particularly when it comes to things like water siphons. This building is only supplying that textile factory that's making our dyes. It's not actually supplying anything else at this point. So it will fill up rather quickly. The other one here, our other water siphon, is actually supplying our 2 farms, so he shouldn't fill up all that quickly. But just in case, just keep the alerts down. I'm just going to turn the alerts for that one off. You'll get all your alerts will appear over here above your speed controls. Now, as you can see throughout our region, there are other industry. It's a little cheaty, the AI. The computer is a little cheaty. Like, for instance, I forget where it is. The copper mine. Copper mine, if we go back to our tech tree, is a tier 2 gathering resource. So even with the 3 points from specializing in this particular industry, we didn't have enough points to unlock the copper mine, and yet there's the AI with the points necessary to unlock that particular resource, which may change at some point, and I hope it does, because that's just a load of, yeah. Anyway, it makes me mad. It makes me angry. All right, so I guess I should lay out a bit of a plan as to what I've got in my mind to what we will be doing with this particular, I guess, playthrough / tutorial kind of deal. My goal at some stage is to start producing all of the liquors. This will involve us building a lot of farms, a lot of water siphons, and a few other buildings as well to help with the production of that. So if we look at the one that sells for the most, our brandy. Our brandy over here requires us to have glass bottles and grapes. Grapes require us to have an orchard at its 2nd tier, which if we go and look at our tech tree, under farming, orchard, base orchard only has apples. Whereas if we put another point into it, we'll be able to unlock the vineyard for grapes, and the orange field, which will come in handy later if we so desire to branch out in that particular direction. But for now, we need to put more points into this one. So probably put more points into our cocoa field, as well as our sugarcane area, and then we'll have to put a couple more points into our crop farm as well, because our barley beer requires us to have wheat. Anyway, back to focusing on our brandy. Our brandy requires us to have glass bottles as well. Glass bottles are made here at the Glassworks and Smelter, which requires us to have glass, which requires us to have sand, which is collected at a sand collector. However, we unlocked the lumberyard, which produces wood. This is particularly handy for probably one of the lowest selling products, but it will help eventually. Wooden barrels are produced by carpentry, which is unlocked at the lumberyard. We can unlock our sand collector as soon as we get enough points for it, and so that's not that far away. And that's probably one of the things we'll be doing first. The next thing, however, we'll probably be doing will be the carpentry centers, just to get that wine production going, and we'll work our way up the list when it comes to the things that we can produce. So we'll probably start with wine, then we'll jump up to beer, because by that point we'll have everything unlocked that we need for that one. We'll have the hops, we'll have our wooden barrels by that stage as well. Then we'll jump from our beer out to our ciders, at which point we'll start need to producing glass bottles and glass. We'll also by that stage have our apples from our orchard, because grapes from our orchards as well. Some things we'll be able to produce a little bit sooner, so this may change, and I'm thinking about what I've just said, and it's slowly dawning on me that maybe unlocking that lumberyard was not such a smart idea after all. We may have to change our thinking and actually go for the glass bottles and the Glassworks and Smelter first, so that we can get things like our ciders on the go, because apples unlock before grapes. Our hops, so our barley whiskey requires us to have wheat and glass bottles, so that's something that we can probably do very quickly. Ditto with our chocolate liqueur. This is water, glass bottles, and cocoa, and we need to put another point into our plantation as well as our crop farm before we can unlock the orchards. So those may be some of the high-end liqueurs, and that will probably be made before the low-end stuff. And then those high-end ones will pay for us to expand our industry so that we can produce the low-tier ones as well. But yeah, enough of that. Let's spend the next 3 minutes of our video expanding our industry. So to expand, we're probably going to need another dye factory, another fabric factory, 2 more farms, and probably another 2 more water siphons. So this is all relatively easy to do. And in fact, we are going to play Puzzle Man. And just get some stuff set up like so. The other thing we can do is actually expand our fishing operation as well. It's not that hard to do. Okay. Putting in our roads. Let's actually turn these off for now. And while we build that, let's just pause our game as well. So just in case the game does start to run, those buildings won't cost us anything because they'll be turned off, which will be nice. Alright, hotkeys are handy. And I think I actually might do that, expand our fishing operation out a bit as well. Put another fisherman over this side and utilize that same spot. But for now, let's get started with our plantations. So we're going to need another berry plantation. And we're going to need another cotton farm as well. Now, just to keep things simple, plantation... Okay, let's see what we got here. 1 is berries, 2 is cotton. So plantation 4, although this is going to get confusing after a bit. Right, let's keep it simple. Number 3 will become another cotton farm, because it's... So we've got all berries and all cotton on either side. That'll just keep things interesting for us. And let's set up our destinations again. So our destination for these ones will be the 2 farms, which will be 3 and 4. Again, dropping the amount of trucks that we need. So you can now go. Our cotton production will go to... me see which one's going to be easy here. Cotton will go to factory number 3. Yep, so factory number 3 will remain our fabrics. Textile factory number 4 will be more dyes, which means our berries will go to number 4. Now, if I was doing this based upon their numbers, odds and evens, this wouldn't be set out this way. And normally I do it based upon odds and evens just because it makes sense to keep it that way. But for now, it's fine. And this one will go to our other textile factory. Done. Easy. Alright, so that is all going? Yes, it is. Right. Cool. So that's all set up. We're going to end the episode here because that's all we've got time for today. Look, more production alerts. We'll have to put on some more trucks as soon as we... Oh no, we have access to more trucks. Alright, 5 trucks. Flood the market with fish. We'll get into that in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.